Hello and welcome back to another episode here on MTT Finance, where I show you guys how it's been going with paying off my student loans throughout the month of August. And let me just start off by saying that the month of August, if you saw my budgeting videos, was a pretty smooth month. Nothing crazy happened. There were no budget hiccups or random expenses. And so I was able to designate a lot of my paycheck after I've gone ahead and paid off a lot of my monthly expenses towards my student loan debt. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at my student loan debts spreadsheet, and I'll be punching in the numbers. As always, you guys get to stay tuned and watch to see how my debt dwindles down to nothing as I continue to put payments towards it each and every month. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna dwindle down, I'm gonna shrink down into the bottom, probably right-hand side of your screen. There we go. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Here I am down in the corner. Let's take a look now at these numbers for the month of August. The first payment was on the 10th, and it was an $800 payment that was split up between the two Sallie Mae loans. $500 was designated towards Sallie Mae loan number 1. That is my higher interest rate loan. That's right here at 7.13. And that was $500 towards this loan. And then also on that same day, $300 was designated towards the Sallie Mae loan number 2, and that is the 3.88% interest rate on that loan. And then if you guys saw my budgeting video for the month of August, you know where this next part is going, because you got to see a sneak peek as to how much money was left over with my paycheck after extracting all my monthly expenses and bills. And on the 25th of the month of August, I was then able to, I took $1,500, what was left over after paying all my expenses, and designated it towards the Sallie Mae loan number 1. This one right here with the higher interest rate. So now I'm going to go ahead and punch in each of these numbers, and we're going to see this spreadsheet kind of change and move about as I punch in the numbers, and hopefully everything works out as planned and as programmed for this spreadsheet. As you guys know, sometimes I punch in these numbers and weird things happen. Stuff changes colors that's not supposed to. Stuff goes into the negative and whatever. But let's go ahead and punch in these numbers. So currently I have on my phone here my Sallie Mae student loan account, and this shows me the actual amount of principal left on each of these loans. Starting off with Sallie Mae loan number 1, this is the one that I'm targeting the most aggressively because of that high interest rate. And I want to get this one paid off as quickly as possible before those government loans become due again, which I believe is in January of 2022, which is just around the corner, believe it or not. So currently, the Sallie Mae loan number 1 is sitting at a loan amount of, let's highlight this, $8,852.43 after all those payments in the month of August. That's really good. That's a nice change to that loan amount. And the Sallie Mae loan number 2, Sallie Mae loan number 2. This is the one that I really only put about $300 towards this month because, like I said, I'm trying to be aggressive with that first loan. This currently is sitting at $84.37. Boom, there we go. We see my student loan debt total now drop down to $92,543.95. And now we are going to put this number over here in the blue section of the graph of the chart here, and that will designate and show us the amount of change between the month of July to the month of August with how much money actually all went towards paying off this principal. Because, as you know, interest is involved, and interest chews away at your monthly payments, which stinks, but it's kind of just part of taking out a loan. So we're going to take this $92,000 here and plug it in for the month of August. I just realized I cannot talk and type for some reason today. There we go. $92,543.95. And as always, our font is just all weird. It's never the way it should be. But there we go. And we can see that is a change from the 2 months, from July to August, of $2,213.75. So we're kind of back up to a little bit below average of where I was. You know, here we had these other months up here, we had somewhere $2,300, $2,800. And then last month I was at $1,600. That's because I made a large payment and cleared off my car loan. And I didn't really feel as comfortable after paying off my car loan with taking even more money and putting it towards student loan debts. I just wanted to have a little bit more extra in the bank account just in case something drastic happened. But as you can see with this month, we are kind of back on par at $2,213. Another thing I have realized by it spitting out this change per month and showing the actual amount of payment that went towards interest is it gives us a chance to look at how much of that monthly payment was actually chewed up by interest. So I put down in total $2,300 towards my student loans this month, and we wound up with $2,213.75 actually going towards the payment, which means that $86.25 was used up and chewed up by those interest rates. That is why it is so crucial. That is why it is so important to get rid of these ones that are having the high interest rates, like that Sallie Mae loan number 1. That's why I feel comfortable with putting a huge chunk, a huge percentage of the chunk of money that I put towards my student loans each month towards that loan alone, and letting around $300 be towards the Sallie Mae loan number 2, because it has a lower interest rate, and let's just get rid of those high interest rates loans first, and then we'll move on from there. Also, this is a chance for some audience participation, and you can put comments down below with what you guys think. But usually I show my student debt total graph I have here. It's a bar graph. But I just kind of think it looks a little ugly. I change the color about every month because I think it looks ugly. But if you guys have some suggestions on how I can maybe make the graph portion, the visual section of this student debt tracker, look more appealing, be sure to leave some comments down below as how I can do that. Maybe you guys have a graph idea or something I can use that's built into Google Sheets if you're more proficient at that than I am. But I like that visual aspect that a graph gives. As you can see, it shows these kind of little stair steps down, moving down all the months that I've been paying off my student loans, at least the months that I've been tracking it. It'd be a lot more stairs if I started at the very beginning, but I didn't. But I want to hear from you guys as to maybe some of your suggestions with making this portion of my student debt tracker look a little bit more attractive. I'm not great with making things look attractive and making things look nice and neat and clean. Other YouTubers are way better at that than I am. But go ahead, guys, leave some comments down below, not only with how it's going with paying off your student loan debts, but also maybe a way to make my debt calculator here, my spreadsheet, look a little nicer, particularly when it comes to my graph. Be sure to tune in also to my August net worth update, as we're going to be taking a big, broad approach to my finances and looking at my assets and my debts. Today we just looked at one aspect of my debts, but we are going to be taking a bigger look at all my debts that I have, including my mortgage and some other things, and also looking at my income and asset column and seeing which one outweighs the other. If you watched my latest money goals video that I posted this past week, you may have noticed that I have set a goal to be at negative $10,000 in my net worth by the end of the year. And so doing things like this, paying off my loans and also increasing assets, that is what's going to continue to make my net worth go in the more positive direction. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for my other videos that I'll be putting out this coming week. See you then.